Wow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the show. So we had Joe Biden speaking today on a Friday. Now he's going to go on vacation. Um, they had Kamala. They had the idiot Secretary of Defense. They had that knucklehead Secretary of State. Didn't say anything. They just stand there. And basically, Joe Biden just lied to the American people. Because he said if any American citizen want to get out, only thing they have to show is a passport to the airport for the checkpoint. Really? Tell really. Why are we talking to this terrorist organization? Can somebody explain to me why are we talking to this terrorist organization? You know, if you really want to get American citizens out of Afghanistan, you need the Army Rangers, you need the Special Forces, the Marine Special Forces, the Air Force Special Forces. That's why they call it Special Forces, to get American hostages out. That's their job. He only took four questions for four Democrat-controlled media. I got the video. I'm going to play it right now.
American, I offer my gratitude to the brave men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces for carrying out this mission. They're incredible.
Yeah.
As we continue to work the logistics of evacuation, we're in constant contact with the Taliban, working to ensure civilians have safe passage to the airport.
They don't.
We're particularly focused on our engagements on making sure every American who wants to leave can get to the airport. Where we have been seeing challenges with Americans for Americans, we have thus far been able to resolve them. We've made clear to the Taliban that any attack on our forces or disruption of our operations at the airport will be met with swift and forceful response. We're also keeping a close watch on any potential terrorist threat at or around the airport, including from the ISIS affiliates in Afghanistan who were released from prison when the prisons were emptied. And because they are, by the way, make everybody understand that the ISIS in Afghanistan have been the sworn enemy of the Taliban. I've said all along, we're going to retain a laser focus on our counterterrorism mission.
Yeah, right.
In close coordination with our allies and our partners.
No, you didn't.
And all those who have an interest in ensuring. As events evolve over the coming days, my team and I will continue to share the information and update the American people on exactly where things are. We'll use every resource necessary to carry out the mission at hand.
Army Rangers.
Bring to safety American citizens and our Afghan allies. This is our focus now. And when this is finished, we will complete our military withdrawal and finally bring to an end 20 years of American military action in Afghanistan.
Well, no.
Thank you. May God bless our troops, our diplomats, and all those serving in harm's way. And now I'll take questions.
Oh, you're going to take questions. You're going to take questions.
Thank you, Mr. President. You now that your election is ushering an era where the world can count on America to live up to its promises. You promised to leave Afghanistan, but you also promised not to bring out those who helped America in its war effort. We've seen these heart-wrenching images at the Kabul airport of people trying to get there, say nothing of the people who can't get to that airport. You made the commitment to get American troops out, to get American citizens out. Will you make the same commitment to those who assisted in the American war effort over the last 20 years, number one? And then number two, what is your message to America's partners around the world who have criticized not the withdrawal, but the conduct of that withdrawal, and made them question America's credibility on the world stage?
I have seen no question of our credibility from our allies around the world. I've spoken with our NATO allies. We've spoken with NATO allies, the Secretary of State. Our National Security Advisor has been in contact with his counterparts throughout the world and our allies, as has the General, I keep calling him General, but my Secretary of Defense. The fact of the matter is, I have not seen that. Matter of fact, the exact opposite I've gotten. The exact opposite thing is we're acting with dispatch. We're acting, committing to what we said we would do. Look, let's put this thing in perspective here. What interest do we have in Afghanistan at this point with Al Qaeda gone? We went to
Al-Qaeda's not
Afghanistan for the
gone.
express purpose of getting rid of Al Qaeda in Afghanistan, as well as getting Osama bin Laden, and we did.
You were against that.
Imagine if the attack, if bin Laden had decided with Al Qaeda to launch an attack from Yemen, would we ever gone to Afghanistan? Would there ever be any reason we'd be in Afghanistan? Controlled by the Taliban? What is the national interest of the United States in that circumstance? We went and did the mission. You've known my position for a long, long time.
Yeah, you're
It's time
against.
to end this war. The estimates of the cost of this war over the last have ranged from this group saying that they didn't say it'd fall when it would fall, when it did fall, but saying that it would fall, to others saying it wouldn't happen for a long time and they'd be able to sustain themselves through the end of the year. I made the decision. The buck stops with me. I took the consensus opinion. The consensus opinion was that, in fact, it would not occur if it occurred until later in the year. So it was my decision. And now my next is Stephanie Ramos, ABC, which was 300 persons. Let's assume
300
the
persons.
National Force had continued to fight and
300
had
persons.
surrounding trouble. Be a very different story. Very different story. But the overwhelming consensus was that they were not going to collapse. The Afghan forces, they were not going to leave. They were not going to just abandon and then put down their arms and take off. So that's what happened. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
In the first time since the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban, you saw Secretary Blinken, Vice President Kamala Harris standing